Hey everybody, and welcome to the review of the game Oakwood. This game was requested by one of the viewers, so please feel free to request more reviews of games, both old and new, in the comments down below. The game Oakwood was completely unknown to me, but I was pleasantly surprised to find out that it is a dinosaur game with horror elements. But when I read that it was on the Unity engine, and when I saw the initial screenshots, it had me a bit worried. Graphically, the game looks like your standard slender clone-like Unity horror game, and I was very much afraid that this would be that type of game. A game where you need to collect notes or other items while being stalked by dinosaurs. Luckily though, I can tell you that this is not the case, at least not the entire game. The game is about an hour long, and during that time you will encounter multiple types of dinosaurs in different scenarios that offer a bit of variety in terms of game mechanics. It's all very standard though, and what sets it apart is the danger that is in the form of the dinosaurs. The game starts out slow, but gives a good feeling of build-up. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that multiple notes provided some background information or world building. Again, this is of course pretty standard for horror games, but the game is only $4, and one can never know what to expect anymore on Steam nowadays with all that garbage on there. You start out during the daytime and soon find abandoned campsites as you hear weird noises all around. Though it is a bit basic, your first encounter with the dinosaurs is quite cool. You end up in a trailer as you hear loud stomping noises outside as the earth shakes. Reminiscent of the trailer scene in The Lost World, a T-Rex's eye can be seen through the window. It becomes again quite clear though that the budget for the game was very low. Though the dinosaur model looks acceptable, it's clear even here that the animation is not that impressive. It's almost as if the T-Rex levitates rather than moves its head. After your short run-in with the giant, you head towards a building where I expected your more standard, slender type of encounter. This part does make good use of build-up though, since it does take quite a bit of time before anything actually happens. Here you will be facing raptors, of which hints can be found pretty early on. Where I was afraid that I would be forced to collect keys or other items while constantly being chased, I once again was surprised to find out that the raptor encounters were in this part pretty much all scripted. The reason why that is a good thing here is because I hate the slender type games where it becomes trial and error. Just like in those types of games, you have no means of defending yourself, meaning that if a dinosaur catches you, you instantly die. By having scripted encounters, there's always a goal that you have to figure out. Whether it is hiding in a toilet to avoid the raptor, running towards a vent, or turning on a microwave to distract one of the raptors. There's always a goal. Sound design wise, I was a bit disappointed to find out some stock sounds that were used in these, including the piano noise from the original Slender game. Once again, it becomes very clear that the animation is quite laughable. Especially if you see the raptor running towards you. It loses its scare factor immediately. This is quite remarkable though, since in the section after that, it seemed to me that there was actually some decent animations to be seen as raptors sprint by you in the tall grass. This next section is a bit more trial and error, in the open world sense, as you find yourself in a field of tall grass, again reminiscent of a certain scene from The Lost World. This probably was the least impressive part, and could maybe have worked if another type of dinosaur was used here instead of once again the raptors. You then eventually end up in the sewers. Here finally a new dinosaur gets introduced, and it actually feels quite tense to be here since it's a bit claustrophobic. This is the actual part that mimics Slender, as you will need to flip 3 switches that I think can be in random places in a maze-like room. While you do this, you will be chased by a Dilophosaurus. Though the dinosaur is not very quick, you can easily outrun him. I got lucky that I had this on my second try. As said before, I usually don't like parts like this, especially since there are no checkpoints. You will be forced to do the entire thing over again if you get caught with even having 2 switches already flipped. This zone though offers another nice nod to Jurassic Park in the form of the night vision goggles. Though again, it is all very standard in that you need to find keys, gas for a car, or flip switches. At least the change of scenery and mechanics like night vision goggles is appreciated. The final part has you reunited with the T-Rex again, and it does look quite cool seeing the giant monster in its actual size. Even with the animation not being the best, it still gets quite intense when you look back and see the dino chasing you. It has a bit of an abrupt ending, you can replay the game and collect hidden totems that can be used to unlock an extra area with some neat extras and lore. So I criticized the game quite a bit. The graphics are quite ugly and look like your generic Unity horror game. The sound design uses some of the stock sounds out there, the animation is laughable, and the game mechanics are not too original. By standards of other games, it would mean that this game is an absolute mess. However, the big factor I think one needs to take into account as well is the price. As said before, this game is only $4, the price of a Big Mac meal at McDonald's. Sure, if you were to lay this next to a $30 or even $20 game, Oakwood would be outrageous in comparison. But the $4 price tag is what saves it. Though it's not all very original or top class, for $4 it is very decent since you get a variety of dinosaurs to tackle, different scenarios, and even some secrets. My biggest gripe still is that the graphics just remind me of any other Unity horror game. I know you can do some beautiful things with the Unity engine, so I hope to someday see a graphic remaster of this. The premise of a horror dinosaur game is really good. Grading this game is also difficult. Again, the price needs to be taken into account, and since I find the price very fair for the type and quality game you are getting, I am giving the game a pass in the form of a 7. Now the difficult part here is that in the future, I might review a game that is $30 or $60 and give that a 7 as well. Does that mean that Oakwood and that game are equally good? No. But for its price, I believe that Oakwood deserves a pass and this number. Were the price of Oakwood higher, then my grade would drop quickly too. Thanks again for watching this review. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. I will see you all on the next Konoha Reviews.